So we're approaching this haircut not only to the shape of the head, but almost as like sacred geometry is what it's based off of. So it's just like the axis of the angles of her fro, you know? Where does she want volume? Where does she want length? And how can we tackle that and actually put that in one haircut at the same time for a tighter texture, which I feel like in certain areas it has been impossible to some stylists, you know what I mean? So I just want to try to make the impossible possible and you know, give you a more relatable class culture. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is my niece Tiana, but we're gonna talk about her like she's a client today, even though she's cutest and she has the best hair to work on. I've been doing her hair since
13, I'm 17, so 4 years.
Maybe 4 or 5 years, something like that. So we've grown it out, we've cut it, we've dyed it, we've done a lot of things. Sienna tends to get a little damage in this little area right here. This is the teenage ponytail area, y'all know. So Sienna came in today. She's the client that comes in that did not come with her hair curly, although that is what you would ideally want when your client arrives to the salon. I love you, niece. So what we're gonna do is, because I've already cut her hair, I'm going to do sectioning and do a slight dry cut on her hair in this form. Then we're gonna go to the bowl. Well, go to the bowl. That bowl? Okay. Go to the bowl. Okay, cool. And like shampoo her, do a little bit of styling with the foam products. And then we'll end up doing slightly another cut at the end once she's in her curl pattern. Now, ideally, your client will come in. She's required to come with her hair in a curl position. Do not allow your clients to attend their curl appointment with the top knot. You know, that happens, right? We don't need that. We don't need those problems. So just make sure that you're setting your boundaries for curl cuts, only because they can be a lot longer. They can take a lot more work, but do not use that language when you're dealing with someone with kinkier hair. Like, don't say things like, I was watching this show and I was obsessed with it and it reignited me, gave me brilliant ideas. I loved it. I'm like, maybe I can be on it one day. The girl won $150,000 because of the hair competition. But all I could hear them saying during the curl challenge, because this texture is so difficult to work with. It's just so much more difficult to work with. And I'm just like, you know your client can hear you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just so terrible. Like, to just keep telling this person since they were this big how difficult they are. Like, that's the whole point. Right.
Relative to what?
Relative to...
Straight hair?
Yeah, of course. Of course. So it's just, you know, people don't think like that. You know, they're just speaking. They're not thinking about what they're comparing to, right? So, not to say that anyone here, because you guys are lovely, I know you would totally care about your language, but that's why I mentioned it, because I know you care, you know? And I feel like in certain classes, that's not mentioned, you know? So just with curl culture, you just want to be careful with your words too, not just doing like a bomb haircut. You know what I'm saying? It's just like certain things that make you go, like, wow, I didn't even think about that. You know what I'm saying? So I try to plug those into my classes also. Verbiage tips, right? All right, so Sienna actually comes in and she gets a curly bang all the time, but we leave it long enough to maybe like, sorry, mirror in you guys so y'all can see, maybe about nose length at an angle, and you can kind of see the cut as it's grown out, right? That way she can still do a bang, but also if she wants to do a side part, a middle part, or something like that, it still gives her that versatility in the crown area. So when I approach this haircut, we still section. I actually do right where the ears are. I move my fingers up to the crown of the head and we just do a circle, okay? So if you want to come up and actually like see, that's cool with me too. If not, it's totally okay. But just from where her angle is, and I am making this circle in the top of her head like as even as possible. And then she has like some dry scalp and things like that going on, but so in the initial combing, you see that I kind of have her hair combed forward.
So from the ear up, is that where the front of the circle starts?
So the middle of the circle is from the ear
the
up.
Middle of the circle, okay.
About here. And on this side, that would cut the circle completely in half. Okay, so even if you did a straight line and 2 halves to make it like extremely even. And that way we're getting this crown area out of the way. We're gonna end up cutting that last. That's where the magic happens. No, I'm just kidding. But it could be magical for someone. All right. So now we're just gonna get this out of the way, because we don't want to focus on that right now. So what I like to do is, from that top of the ear, I get this hair just out of my way, because we're also gonna approach that next. The first thing we're gonna do is worry about the back. So I've detangled her slightly. Right now, I'm just gonna go from the bottom up in layers. And I'm talking about layers, meaning just straight across, okay? And this is gonna kind of start building her perimeter, and then get rid of like a lot of the damage that we have going on here.
And if she came in curly like she was supposed to, still the same?
Exact same, yep. And thank you for asking that too. All right, so when I see this and I approach it, a lot of people are like, oh, it's a curly cut, how can I keep it blown out? How can I flat iron it? We went from curly hair to silk presses to, you know what I mean, a million times over, you know what I mean? Sienna, I love my niece, but you know, she knows she has to come in a little bit more often for treatments and stuff like that. But, you know, we're working on our consistency and our relationship together on that. But when I approach something like this, I don't necessarily detangle it, because I'm visualizing density, okay? So if you were to just take, it could be a piece of paper, but I'm gonna use my hands, it's pretty fair, you know, and put it behind there, you can clearly see where we have damage and like where we don't, right? We may have damage a little higher than where we want to cut, all right? So for me, I'm only gonna take those straggly pieces on the end, because when I style her with the curl product, I can manipulate this still to mimic what I'm doing above it in the healthier section, okay? Okay. So what we're gonna do with this right now is just literally like a dusting to make this even to where we see mostly the density. Does that make sense? Okay.
So you're getting rid of the stuff without the density?
Yeah, I'm just getting rid of the little bits that are
regardless of what length it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And this is like where we really want to make sure our hands are staying steady. We're not turning our wrists and things like that. This is also Texpert shears. It's by the Texture Summit by Tippy Shorter. So they're like curly shears. Like the curvature really helps you get good curves and a good flow with like your methodology and cutting. So I feel like they really help me in getting like really good slices, even if I'm doing this type of haircut on straight hair for like more volume. Almost like a shag look without the razor. Right. You know, so it's just like a slicing technique at that point.
Hard blood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it really helps with that in my opinion, but also keeps me just like going straight across, because I try to cut here opposed to just the ends. So it just keeps me in line, because my wrist will get lazy, and it also happens when I do extensions. So, but as you can see, it's just genuinely a straight line to start out with, directly across. And what we're gonna do is just that all the way throughout until we get to this half crown area, okay?
Is that your guide, or if you're maintaining length, do you leave it longer?
Yes, I'm maintaining length, so I always just try to leave it as long as possible.
Okay, so you're not trying to cut it all the same. No. You're just trying to clean it all up.
No, I'm just trying to clean it all up. And then for me, ideally, she'd be curly, but for me, the perfection comes when we're in our coil after the shampoo, after the styling, and then we've dried completely as best as we can. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we'll still be a little soft, sometimes we'll just be slightly damp. Maybe just even still warm from the dryer because of the product, but it just depends on what you're using. I find that gel products tend to dry a lot faster, being like water-based as opposed to cream and oil-based products when we're working with tighter coils.
Oh, okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you, like, what blow dryers have you used, and, like, do you have an opinion on, like, one that you think is, like, better for, like, faster for diffusing? Because I feel like my blow dryers
I really love the Keratin Complex blow dryer for diffusion. I only brought a Amika dryer, but the Amika dryer and the Keratin Complex blow dryers, they have like I want to try that so bad. I cannot stop looking at it.
You can use it.
Oh my god, I wanted to try that and I've seen it online. I've not bought it. I've not bought any toys, you guys. But the Amika and the Keratin Complex dryers, oh my gosh. And they have the diffusers that come with them.
Okay.
And they dry so fast. I love my Dyson. It's great.
Yeah, I was like, do I want it, like, is it gonna save
me?
It
is worth it though.
Okay.
And it does take like, I want to say maybe like 15 minutes out of my blow dry.
Okay.
But I'm also using the home one. I did not buy the pro one. They have a stylist focused one with a longer cord that actually might go even faster than what I have.
Okay.
So I would say maybe go on the Dyson site and check out the pro dryer and read the reviews, because you'll see like hairstylists that are like, it's not worth it, or it's everything, you need one. You know what I mean? I haven't done that yet. Maybe I should do that too.
Like I used to came out, but like most of the clients that salon had straight hair, and I was like, yeah, this is better, but it's not as better as it should be.
Because you know with the curls,
like, maybe with curls it would.
So
be
with curls, scientifically, you know, we're on like a global helix, right? So when it grows out of the scalp, they say like elliptical or oval, as opposed to just circular, like straight hair. So it's really hard for moisture to get to the ends, no matter how healthy your hair is. See what I'm saying? So if you just think about water and how it can just pour down, but then it has a whole journey going in this direction, right? See what I'm saying? So that's why you really have to worry about hydration versus moisture. Moisture being provided by like oil and butters, hydration being provided by water-based products, or just straight up water or hyaluronic acid, right? But you want to lock hydration in with moisture. When you're using the right product method, and I say layering, not cocktailing for curls, not mixing stuff together and putting it in. Like you want to put stuff down, let us do its job. Put stuff down, let us do, you know what I'm trying to say? You know, almost like, so you want to know a really big way that I learned myself with curls is really comparing it to makeup.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Like literally, so like clears before creams is the same with serums before moisturizer. See what I'm saying? So if you just approach it like, compare it to something you're already doing. You can do this. We were talking about sidebar. It has nothing to do with curls. We were talking about makeup. You could totally take your hair knowledge and make it makeup knowledge. But yeah, I really think that those two dryers would be really great. But I still would. I'm not against the Dyson though.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've had a really great experience. I still have the same one that I've had since 2019, and I'm still rolling with it. So maybe it might be worth it. But I really would try. I would try the Keratin Complex one or Amika, because Amika's tools are just chef's kiss. They're amazing. So we have quite a bit more density in this area. You know, we were kind of going with the nape or whatever. So with this, I'm just going against the grain and giving her a nice straight across cut. Okay. This is all visual. My guide is my shears and my eye, because when we cut this, it's not going to be as short as that first layer, right? Because if you think about hair and curly hair grows this way for sleek styles, but with curly hair, we're sculpting. So it could very well go in this direction. It can go in this direction, you know, so it's very directional. And that's why I said it's based off sacred geometry, the seed of life, you know? So I feel like if we put that symbol against her scalp, you genuinely will see the angles of the haircut. See what I mean? So it's almost like a flower. I love sunflowers, so I identify the cut with that a lot as well. But it's like we have our seedling where we can really just keep growing and keep building, and where we have most of our hair, and then we have the layers are all petals. See what I'm saying?
Instead of like straight hair's like a book.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just layers. flat.
Yeah,
This is
yeah, and
more
even
like
just straight styles. Like even if you have a straight
styles, yeah.
person, a curly person that wants to go straight, get like
It's
extensions.
flat, and then with the curls, it's more like a
Yeah, so it's
flower.
almost like hedging.
yeah.
So yeah. I wasn't ready to approach this class today with her hair not being curly, y'all, by the way. So you kind of getting a bonus. Little bonus deal. And I did not tell her to wash her hair or anything, y'all. So it's not her, it's me. All right, and like I said, I'm trying to use the belly of my shears, not the tips. The tips there's nothing wrong with the tips. It's just I have less control that way. Somebody's like me and cuts capes. And I'm doing about 1 inch sections, possibly half an inch. It depends on the size of the person's head. But when I get into these vertical sections, they're not large. That way we really are getting deep into those layers. Sorry, a little tangled there. Okay.
This feels important. Yeah.
Okay. And then you can kind of see where we're gonna be kind of even, and then we have like some breakage, right? So I'm not gonna go into these areas. I'm gonna go right underneath it into those straighter pieces because we literally know that that's damaged hair. Like there's no coil to it, there's no life to it. So it's so funny that you have these black walls. I have a pink wall that I hate. And I want to make it black so bad. I was just talking about it.
Every time I paint something of color, I paint it black. Even white, I regret white.
Girl, I'm literally the story of my life right now. Seriously. And as you can see, I'm being pretty light. I'm not combing through her hair, you know, because I'm still trying to go with the natural fall. And right now, this is more of a damage control before we actually get into like cutting layers and things like that.
You prefer to do damage control with it dry?
Yes.
Okay. And that's why you're cutting it twice, right?
Yeah. Yep. And that's why you can charge quite a bit for this haircut. My haircut will be $100 come the new year, but I went from 35 to 75. It took me 10 years. You know what I mean? So you could do it a lot faster now because it's 2023. You know, you could in a year you probably could have a $75 curly cut. You know,
Yeah.
but it's literally a process, and you spend a lot of time at the bowl. Like you genuinely are nurturing them. You're healing hair trauma. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Like when you get like real curly clients, like that have a tighter coil. They've been through probably hell. I have yet, and I'm not even have the tightest coil in the world. I have yet to find like a stylist like me. You know what I mean? Best haircut I ever had was from her. But just
Sharon
like
did our last curly class.
seriously, I remember you telling me that about the lighter texture. I should have been there for that, girl. But just you know what I mean? So it's like you're genuinely gonna be undoing trauma because your curl session is gonna be so bomb. They're gonna just want to come back for more. You know? But you undo a lot, I feel, with just curl sessions in general, whether it's my cut or, you know, anyone's, you know, because people go through so much, and some people have yet to even realize they have curly hair.
Yeah.
Like, they just have been getting straightened so long. A really good reference point to kind of talk about the journey, and I hate to sound so cheesy and reference Netflix, but the Sanaa Lathan movie where she shaved her head, the way that the older generations manipulate you into thinking that that's better for you to have relaxed hair and like just black culture in general. You don't even know any better because you literally have your elders telling you this is sleeker, do your hair, girl, why you looking like that, you look like you just woke up, just And you just trying to, when I was little, I wanted my Mariah Carey hair, baby. I was trying to, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing about polish and all that. I wasn't worried about it, but my grandma was sleeking my hair up, and when she saw a curl out of place, she would cut it off. I mean, like, oh, it'll grow back. You know, like, seriously. So it's stuff like that. Like, I was like 5. I'm like, why you cut my hair? You know, so mom started taking me to the salon because she was like, we can't keep letting them mess with you. I don't know what they doing. They think they know. But nobody had hair like me in my entire family. Nobody. So I had to figure it out. So when it comes to the facial framing of this haircut, I really like to focus on the side that you can see. Sorry. I almost approach it as if we're approaching extensions. When a girl wants extensions, she wants more hair right here, right? As much hair as she can have in the face. Not in the face, but just like by the ears, whether she wants to tuck it, whether she wants, you know, facial framing or layers, you know what I mean? So with that being said, lift your head up just a little bit. What I'm gonna do is from the back, make that even in length to this one point here. And then literally dust this little area here, because these little ear areas, these little dog ear areas, are the areas where most people lose the most hair, and they also grow back the slowest. Okay, so it's not gonna be like that overgrown area like back here. You know, where we kind of have an angle, where we have like a really good perimeter or like straight line, and then they come in, they have like that little dog tail. That's not gonna happen. So these are like the leaves to the stem, you know, of all this. So I love how your color is popping right now. Okay. And again, like I said, I'm just evening out. And this is all about rounding this cut out. That's what this is about. Soft lines and rounding things out, not cutting like super straight across. Don't die on your dress either. And just kind of angularly connecting all of your lines, okay? So I'm gonna do the same thing to this other side really quick before we move on. And then we cut the bangs in the front area last, you guys. That's for last, right? And if you have any questions, I don't mind, you know, if you want to ask anything. It's not going to interrupt or anything like that. We're not too formal around here.
Do you find that most of the time you don't have to take those smaller 1-inch sections in this area because it's not as dense? Or are there some people where you want to section?
Sometimes the sections aren't as small because it won't be as dense, but when they are pretty dense, I try my best to like go in sections that are slightly bigger than 1/4 of an inch, but that's the smallest I would go.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. Smaller than that, you wouldn't.
No.
Wasting some time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, because you're gonna spend a lot of time, like, depending on what you all talk about in the consultation as far as styling. You know, are you gonna do a twist out? Are you gonna do a braid down? Like, where you're gonna just do individual braids, put her in the dryer, and then unravel them? Is she gonna want to wear the twist home and unravel it herself? Are you gonna give a discount for that because you're not? That's to your discretion. I do not.
Yeah.
I just feel like, you know, I did the work, you know what I mean? Like, me taking it down, I feel like that's just part of your service. It's not, you're not paying extra for that. Right. So I'm not gonna take it off if I'm not
doing it. I'm a fan of no discounts.
You get what I'm saying? I mean, girl, yeah. In certain positions, you just gotta, you know? Okay, so ideally, no combs in the curly cuts, but we have a blown out client. And this is something that's going to happen. People are gonna come with their hair not prepared, you know, or not in the curl form, in its natural lay, right? So just to, sorry if that's uncomfortable. Just like to get this nice and detangled. Okay. Because we are going to do a little bit of angles here. All right. So we're gonna make sure all of our center flower here is up as possible, 180, you know? So what I like to do is kind of slightly bend to get an angle of where I actually did my perimeter cut. And for me, right at this top layer is where everything aligns with the back and the front, okay?
So you kind of pull it down to see where.
Just like a little reference point. So I'm gonna hold it here. They kind of,
Okay.
see how that falls right into that spot, okay? So, and then you can just go back with your fingers. You don't have to pick the comb back up to, you know.
That would save me time on your haircut.
So look, I'm taking this off. We know we don't want this, y'all. We know. We know. There's no need to. Sorry, it rained on you a little. I made it rain. Okay. All right.
So you said ideally no combs when you're doing like a curly cut like this. So
Yes.
how does this translate? Would you just kind of like use your hands to get it all sectioned together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you have the actual curls in place, you're almost gonna be not lifting them individually, but just maybe, in my opinion, it's 3 to 4 curls at a time.
Yeah.
In like these little sections, you know, and it almost, the sections almost become like all the way around the head when we get into the layers. So that was just our first cut of the layers, and you can kind of see how that falls. See, and it falls really nicely into the rest of the haircut, right? So at this point, we have our really good angles, and like I said, we're gonna do that front last. And now I'm just going from the side of her head. This is like a section of curls, right? Again, I'm gonna lift up. Do you see how that angle is? And how, if you can look, sorry, where my shears are, this length matches up with this length. So we wanna get rid of this length in between. That little pokey piece.
Yeah, the point on.
Yes. So what we're gonna do is do that around the entire head until we get to where our bangs stop. Okay?
Makes sense.
Good? Okay. Just wanna make sure that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I started this haircut
It seems like such a faster way.
Yeah.
pre-COVID, you
Yeah.
guys, and then before I was even able to have like my first my first class, COVID shut everything down. And I found out I was pregnant. It was like all at the same time. I was there, you know, at Wicked.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never really got to get it off the ground. So this is technically like my first time teaching it. Like not at like a school for like volunteering. Because I did volunteer it a few times just to get the out. Okay. And then when you reference point, that's why we did like that just straight across cut, because we're gonna keep constantly referencing that part that we cut initially. Okay?
Gotcha.
So when we do that first section, it's initially building our reference. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you created a guide with the first step,
Yes.
and then you created one with the middle.
And now we're meeting now.
Okay.
Yep.
Super cool.
I'm so glad that connected. Thank you.
This is so much faster than how I've been cutting hairs.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Sidebar, sorry. I actually have only taken one Diva Curl class my entire career. So
I'm
this
just-
is genuinely like out the mud, y'all. Like, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, I almost do it like backwards. So I do a lot of, so when I get somebody curly, I like them to come in natural and I almost like sculpt it out.
Mhm.
And then I comb everything out to make sure that they don't have any pieces out.
Yeah.
This literally like smashes those two together to be like, this is how you create a guide, but still create, like, keep your soft lines. And
Yeah, and it's almost like you're doing, I don't want to say like two things at once, but it's just taking, it's, you know, that's my goal, is to just like help you work. Not just smarter, not harder, but just like worth your time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
And so if this was all curly, you'd still have it dry, right?
Mhm.
You don't use a comb.
Oh yeah, no,
Pull it
we
all
still,
with your
everything will be
hands.
slicing through fingers and
Okay.
all of that, yeah.
Because I haven't taken Diva Curl classes or formal curl classes, I like feel almost not right classifying myself as a curl specialist.
I understand that, but I mean, you were born curly, so.
The Diva Curl class.
It's different when you actually got naturally curly hair, girl. Like, if you said you wanted to be a curl specialist, me, she'd be like, I know how to deal with this hair, because it's mine. I know. I woke up like this.
Certified. So I never took an official class, but I did a lot during my during my assistant apprentice year, but I never like took the official class. But there really isn't like their method is just very like random and visual.
Yes.
So I just kind of took her.
You do.
I took their method and like tacked it on to like the haircut sectionings of a haircut, like
That's what
the
I did.
traditional sectionings, but like holding it in a curly way.
Yeah.
And add,
like treating it like it's
detailing it
texture.
visually, but
So
also
what
using
I like to
sections.
reference is, and a lot of people like this when I like talk about just doing curly hair, is that it's the fabric of the hair, right? You're not gonna treat your silks the way you treat your cottons. See what I'm saying? So that's just something I really like say in our website. And believe it or not, people know nothing about fabric treatments. Let me be honest, okay? Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Nobody's teaching you how to wash clothes.
Mhm.
That's not something. Your grandma's not teaching you that anymore. You know, like, for real. Laundry mats were out by then, you know? But it gets so many people's attention by referencing it as, like, fabric, you know? Because if you think about texture and fiber classes, because I'm my art girl over here, you know?
I
It's
reference
the
fibers all
same
the
thing.
time.
You see what I'm
With
trying to
color.
say? So, yeah. So I just think that it helps
It's
so
organic
much.
fiber. There's
Seriously.
no difference between human hair and like.
And that's why it
hair.
performs better when you're not using gunky full products. Like, I feel like curly hair requires products with no crap in it. You get what I'm saying? Like, because it's like, it gets dry so much faster. It gets damaged so much faster. It's like, it needs that gentle care. You know what I mean? And like experience. So it's like, if you're gentle and you care about your clients and you have experience with curls, you're a curlist. That's, you know, you got the experience. Don't downplay yourself.
Yeah.
But there are stylists out here that just want to be trendy,
Yeah.
you know, and they want to jump on board because texture was a word that popped out in COVID also, you know, so it's, you know, when it's really a fight to raise awareness, it's like hard. I get it, you know, it's just like, well, I don't want to use the terminology because I don't want to be offensive. I don't want to.
Well, I don't want to be irresponsible, so I'm like.
No, girl, it is, and it's like every time I try to do anything else, I don't know if it's God, I don't know, but somebody's like, I end up right back to my roots, you know, and like what I know I'm good at, or like what I'm known for, and things like that. And it's not on purpose. It's just, I guess it's just what I'm supposed to be doing. All right, so we have like a little small triangle section up here. I'm not gonna get the clips out. Kind of just referencing the area per forehead. You can also use brows as a really good reference for bangs. I don't know if anyone else does that. As well as just like cheekbones and just like areas of the actual face, not just the shape of the head, right? Because that's a frontal area, not a back area or a top
So you're
area.
not gonna cut it to the same guide at all. You're gonna do it.
No, this is its own thing. Yep, this is its own thing. So we have that section off. We kind of talked about before you guys got in here, because she's gotten this cut a million times. If she wanted them shorter, longer, you know. So like I said before, the way that we're gonna cut these is when they shrivel up, she'll be able to wear them as bangs without having to clip them or anything like that. And she might in maybe like 3 weeks have to get them cut again. I say it's like 3 weeks. But then there's a bang trim option on my site too. So that's something that I feel like you should, a curly bang trim could be a whole other service. Okay, because we're gonna kind of go into the crown area. Excuse me, not just cut bangs, right? Not to say that we don't blend everyone's bangs, but you get what I mean. Like, it might take a little bit more time, so I would like for you to be able to text more for that too. Just saying. Okay. All right, so we have our section. Sorry.
I'm looking in the mirror.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think of that. Okay. All right, so we have like a really great section here. I want to get that straight hair, treating like curly, right? Making sure we get like that little looseness, right? So what I'm going to do is actually cut this into a C. Okay? So I'm going to pull it down just a little bit, chin up, babe.
Your shears look super handy right now.
Yeah.
And this is when the tip comes in.
I took a Kevin Murphy class and they had curved shears a few years ago, and I've been like dreaming about him since. And getting to see him like actually used in curly hair cutting makes so much sense.
Yeah, and like look at that, how it just like falls. If I just kind of split her back up. So if you think about this even just blown out, oh my gosh, like the curves will be so nice.
I like how you have it looks clean, like a fresh haircut.
You see?
But it's not blunt.
Yeah, no, it's not blunt at all. It's very soft. So I was watching that show, and I didn't even know Roberto Ferretti, the Italian guy that has like this amazing haircut and is like this renowned. I don't know. I didn't know either. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. Because I was like, do you know? And I don't know because I don't know. Anyway, I swear we cut hair the same. And I was like, he's a millionaire. I'm like, what class? What day in class did I miss? This man is a billionaire in Italy. Like, what? Am I in the wrong country? What is going on here? Because, I mean, you know, and when I, like, literally can't stress enough, like, how much I reference, like, how you stand. Like, really focus on those ergonomics they gave us in school. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I really think that it's so important to be able to plant yourself. Like, you about to do yoga. You get what I'm saying? Like, lean into your cuts, you know, lean. Because what we'll do is we'll stand there. And I have horrible hips and sciatica because of this. So this is 15 years of pain. It's the experience I'm getting you. But like your hips will shift on the side that you're cutting. This also makes your extensions uneven. This is something I bring up in that class too. You know, you can put in like a row in of beaded rows or K-tips, whatever you do, you know, tape ins. They'll start notice that they start to go like that. Or like your haircut is uneven on one side. It's because you're not thinking about how you're standing anymore. We're just thinking about what we're doing versus how we're doing it.
I think that's why I've enjoyed like a lot of barber classes because a lot of the times they tell you to position like it's almost in like a squat. Or
Yeah, like you have to bend your
like
knees a little bit.
Like,
you know, lean into it. Don't just do this. And you know what I mean? Like no deadlifts behind the hair chair. Because you're probably not leaning where you need to lean for that either.
So you mentioned this would look really good for a blowout. So it makes me think of like my clients who don't necessarily have curly hair, but they've got that like really coarse, like Mexican or like Latino hair.
And they want some curvature, some softness.
Because I've noticed.
Because it can grow like this.
Yeah.
And always want the V.
I struggle with, I do struggle sometimes with cutting that texture. Like no lie. I always have.
My mom has that texture, and that's something, and I can.
Well, then you probably have a lot of practice.
Yeah, but I've taken what I've learned in curly cutting and done it in that specific hair texture because
that's so innovative.
It sits the same way because it's so like it sticks out of the head that you have the bottom section.
Yes, exactly. It's like almost like stacked.
So like
that hedge trimming comes in.
It almost makes you feel like it's more than one follicle growing out of the pore. It's not. I know that, but it's just like. But then if you think about it though, clients that don't know will have split ends that genuinely grow all the way to the scalp, and that hair will be splitting in two, coming out that one.
That's wild.
And that's something that happens a lot with the really tight curls, because when you grow your hair out, you don't cut off the damage all the way because you want to hold on to length. You know, like you'll do a big chop. And you'll have like that little bit that was left, but that little bit that was left was damaged. And then you keep growing and growing and growing this healthy hair, but then that damage has to go somewhere. See what I'm saying? So those are going to be your clients that come in and they have really great length, but when you wash it, like almost half of it might look split. That's when you need to manipulate it, you know, with your curl creams, your butters. I'm going to actually need to reference, I'm going to turn our video off here. I got some. Our next